2008 was an important year for cameras. Now, if that year sounds random to you, consider this. From the late 90s until 2007, DSLRs only did one thing. They took pictures. But in 2008, Nikon released a camera that didn't just change the camera industry, it changed the way that we as consumers look at cameras. It kind of changed our expectations of what a camera is and what a camera should be able to do. See, the Nikon D90 was the very first DSLR to ever have video mode. I mean, sure, it was 720p, and Canon would release the 5D Mark II a few months later, which was full frame and 1080p, but still, the Nikon D90 was in fact the very first DSLR to ever have video. And in that sense, I feel like the D90 deserves a little recognition for being the first of its kind. So what do you get with this classic icon? It's got a really good build quality. It's not weather sealed, but it does have a really sturdy aluminum alloy frame. And it's a good size. It's not too big that it feels bulky, but it's not too small that it feels cheap. There's a 12.3 megapixel sensor with a 1.5 times crop, and it has an 11-point autofocus system, which I know doesn't sound like much, but the Nikon D90 actually had 3D tracking and face detection all the way back in 2008. So let's take a look at some sample photos and videos from the D90. Video footage from the D90 isn't bad, but it isn't really good either. It's 720p with no autofocus in video mode, and it's kind of what you would expect from the world's first DSLR to ever have video. It's just kind of okay, and it's not great by modern standards. On the other hand, part of what I love about Nikon cameras, especially ones from the mid-2000s, is their color science. You know, it's funny, we spend so much time talking about Canon color science, but Nikon has some genuinely good-looking colors. If you put it in terms of painting, if Canon is a Van Gogh, then Nikon is more like a Monet. Nikon is really like soft and subtle and refined, and there's a certain elegance to those colors. I genuinely like the images I get from these Nikon cameras. So ultimately, who's the D90 for? Well, obviously, it's not for videographers. Anyone serious about video is going to be completely put off by the fact that its max resolution is 720p and it completely lacks autofocus in video mode. On the other hand, the D90 is more for hobbyists who want a really solid camera that takes genuinely good photos. And at a little over $100, it makes a great first camera for anyone who's looking to learn photography. Anyway, I think that's about all I got for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.